guys, girls, welcome back to the channel. I've just frightened the shit out of myself. You know when you leave the car in gear and you get in it and then you're just half asleep, because I am this morning, and almost just fired the E92 straight through my garage door into my Porsche. So, you know, one of those little heart in your mouth moments. Anyway, moving on swiftly. That was stupid. Today we are taking the E92 over. Oh, don't tell me it's not got fuel. Today we're taking the E92 over to String Theory to have a full suspension set up, to get the car basically just sat right and get all the geometry right so it drives really nice. Like the guy at String Theory sets up lots of different cars, lots of GR Yaris's actually, does a lot of suspension stuff. I just want to get the car riding right. I think it needs maybe a little spacer to get the wheels fitting properly. So I'm just going to let him have a look at it and do that good stuff. So I'm actually late. We're going to head on over now. my heart attack's just slightly stopped. I actually can't believe that. It was just so stupid. I got in. Anyway, look, let's just not go over it. We know what happened, Becky. Fuck. Right, let's go. So I've just arrived at String Theory Garage now, and to be fair, the drive over it wasn't too bad. I was sort of thinking about what I wanted to have done whilst I was here. And this is Bon. He's going to be the guy who's going to be looking after my car. He has the pointer here.
We have the car here.
We have the car here. So what we're going to do, I just think it needs to come down a little bit.
So after you pulled up and scraped your front bumper on the ground.
Yeah.
Here.
Oh yeah, I did do
you
that.
Thought
so
I'd best lower it some more.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's quite.
It's quite low already, really.
Yeah, it's quite.
What
low.
size wheels and tyres have we got?
They're 18s. I think they're 255s on the front.
255, 35, 18. So it's got pretty small wheels and tyres for an E90 or E92. Sorry.
James told me to go for 18s. Maybe
Well, yeah, because it's cool. I mean, it's lighter and it'll perform better. But you know, quite often people do the reverse, don't they? Go for like sweet 22s on their rides.
You've actually just pointed that out. That is quite low on the front, isn't it? So maybe. Do we want to go lower? I found this in Bon's office and I'm now obsessed with it. I don't order it. I do really like. Do you know what? This is gonna be perfect for shows. I do really like this. I really miss the F80 M3 and looking at this one here in this beautiful colour. Yeah. Do you know what, Bon? I do really miss my old M3.
Is this what you're gonna go home and buy right now? One of these. It doesn't have the same effect, does it? You need the hand. Play with it.
Yeah.
Make it look.
Make it sit fat, Bon.
Make it pop.
Make it pop, exactly.
Cool.
We're gonna have a little look. Do you mind if we have a little look in the garage whilst we're here? Are they customers?
And then you can like blur out all this complete messy bits.
Oh, that's fine. Ooh, this is nice. What do we have in today? I know you have a lot of like GR Yaris's that come here to get set up. I see a lot.
We've got ours and another one here. This is a customer's 997 that once pump fell apart on.
Whoops.
Just as he dropped it off to get it wrapped at a famous wrapping place.
Oh, ideal. Just what you want.
So we're sorting that, and then
Very nice. So, having a little wander through here, obviously we've got the 996 Turbo, which belongs to Bon himself.
Yeah, occasionally even drive it.
You occasionally drive it, which is good.
Most of here being ornament with cool wheels.
And this RX-7, which I actually know who it belongs to. It belongs to a lovely lady at Alcon Brakes, her fella. But it seems to be... What's he having done on it?
Well, funny enough, Alcon Brakes.
Oh, I think we're having some Alcon Brakes put on it.
We're just waiting on some brackets to come back.
Oh, there we go.
Fit
Let's see.
the Alcon Brakes. Luke was in here yesterday and posited some bits.
He's here.
And we're also changing a little bit of the routing of the radiator pipes and stuff, because he also wants his car super laminated and bits are hitting the floor, so we're fixing that. Oh. Yeah.
Okay, so that's that car dropped off down to String Theory. I am now just trying to rush and get ready for a shoot with the Independent. Oh my God, you know when you're putting on makeup and you're like, what is happening here? I'm basically in a massive rush because I need to get the 930. I need to go over to my unit. I need to get ready. I'm stressing. It's fine. It's Wednesday. It's almost the weekend. I get really stressed in these situations because I'm trying to do so many different things and do YouTube and do shoots and do all of this stuff all at the same time. Oh, is there a wall in the way? Yeah, I always get to this moment in time where I'm like, okay, maybe I tried to fit too much stuff in one day. But it's fine. We move. It'll be good. Okay, so I finally managed to get myself and the car, the 930, over to the unit because I've got a shoot today, which I can't actually tell you what it's for at the moment, but all will become clear later. It's kind of nice to actually see the E21, but for some reason, My dad took the battery out of the car. I actually know why he did it. He took it home to give it some charge because right now there is a drawer on the battery that just keeps killing it. So Dad's taken it home to be good and be nice and try and charge it up for me so I can actually use the car. And now the car has no battery and it's kind of fallen over a little bit. So I'm just trying to hide this in the back of the shoot. But the 930's here. I'm going to give it a little wash in a bit, but we're going to get on with the shoot. This is phase 2 of the day. We're slowly knocking them down. It's actually been, I'd say, probably 4 or 5 months since I've been over to the unit. I need to use this space a little bit more because, I mean, bless it. I did it up and then just never really used it. But it's all on the plan, things to do. So we'll get on with phase 2. Shot's kind of cool. I just love the fact that the turn out, just ignore the fact that it's grand. Absolute banger of a courtesy car from String Theory here. Look at the steering wheel. Never seen anything like it. It's actually so bizarre driving a car which isn't completely compromised in any type of way. Which is a super comfortable beast. I just can't get over the steering wheel. Look at that. It's looking lovely. Lovely stuff. What is going on with the weather at the minute? I swear to God, every time I walk outside, it's like sunny 1 second and then it starts raining. But actually, it's quite nice and refreshing, Bon, being out in the rain. Yeah, it's been really sweaty today. Like I was doing that shoot over at the unit, and oh my God, you know when you're just sat on a car and it's just sweat, sweat.
It kind of feels like breathing water right now.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of grateful. I'm grateful for a bit. Isn't it? Do you know what?
Oh, it's really hot. I hate it. It's really hot. Oh, it's raining. It's really wet. I hate it.
It's a very British thing. It's been very hot, abnormally warm in the UK over the last few weeks. And everyone's like, oh, it's too hot. And now it's raining. It's like, oh, it's raining. But actually, I'm all right about it. I'm kind of... Huh? Well, exactly. I'm going back to Ireland this weekend. I'm hoping to shit that it's raining. Fran, you just said something to me. You said something about there's good news and there's bad news.
The good news is that I've put lots of time into making the car lovely, and there's lots of cool things I've done.
Oh, I should have got the stick. Oh, wait, let me get the stick. I have acquired
the pointing stick. Great.
Oh, look at my lovely new Powerflex brushes in there as well. So something about the install of my coilovers, which is did you say crap?
No, I didn't say crap. I said quite a worse than that earlier, actually. Hold on, I need to...
Sorry. Oh, we have another one. Fine. This will be the lesson.
This is better. So.
Okay. I'm really I mean, we tried our best. All right.
So now I'm basically like, well, I'm oily and stuff, so I'm not Suchi because he's always perfect. But now I basically am, because I'm going to go like, here we've changed the suspension from standards to BCs, and here we've changed the bushes, and here there's a brake disc.
Is it you changing it? I did think I was going to get some new.
I mean, that depends on how fussy you want to be. You can be really fussy with this sort of stuff, but on an affordable M3, I have no idea whether it's public knowledge of sales price or not. You know, on an affordable M3 with such things as dents.
Oh, I know, that one's really horrible. It's right on the line as well.
You know, yeah, but you know, what I'm saying is you can replace brake discs to make everything brand new.
Yeah.
But does it matter that much? So.
I don't know why I find this.
This ball joint here, look how good this hand is.
Okay.
This is not in good condition.
Right.
And if that's a word beginning with F.
Yeah.
Then that one probably is too,
right,
or not far off.
Okay.
And if we're doing all that stuff, we may as well replace this arm too.
Right.
You've already had. Why have you had a rear lower arm? This is what confuses me.
Because the rear lower arm was because when we put the suspension in, obviously we had to cut the strut out because the bolt seized in. And then I was like, okay, let's get a new one because that one's not very nice.
I was looking and like these have got bushes and ball joints and things in them, and the one that you replaced has like nothing moving in it. It's just a piece of metal, and I was like, what happened here?
The joys.
Yeah, exactly.
The joys of owning one of these cars.
So
is this a cautionary tale for people buying E92s?
It's cars. It's not E92s. You should have to remember that this car is now what? 15 years old? No, not quite, 13 years old.
Yeah.
Right? And what I always say to people is if you put yourself outside and then salt sprayed yourself down the motorway and then park and just lay it outside in the street for 13 years, you'd probably look pretty wrecked. So like, I think it's fair that cars look pretty wrecked after 13 years.
Yeah. I mean, it was looking a little bit nice under there, but
no, it's fine.
Ultimately,
and you've done what, you powder coated or painted or whatever the subframe.
Yeah. Well, that's actually all brand new from BMW.
Oh really?
Yeah, brand spankers.
Cool.
From BM. Obviously power flexes.
I would have assumed you just
that would
painted it or something.
That would have been.
Why did you buy a new subframe? What happened to the old one?
It was in a mess.
Is there a video on this?
There is actually. The last video explains it.
Okay, so
I'll put a little click up here if you're wondering what happened.
I believe that Stevie Wonder got his measuring tape out on your car. Do you know
what the really bad thing is? James said to me when he looked into the car, he was like, "Who the fuck put these in?"
Yeah, so they were all set to different lengths. Which once you corner weighted the car, they are different lengths. But when you just installed it, if there's like a 20mm difference in length one side to the other, it's quite a big difference.
So this was my first attempt at like putting suspension on a car with Latham, and it was a complete ball ache and took like 3 days, and it was painful. You all, like, as I said, I'll put the video click up here, but it was very painful. And this is what made me vow to never work on road cars again.
Well, the thing is, it's old cars, right? Old cars require a different.
So we did a great job. Bon is just giving that the
basically,
clap of approval.
I just had to go over everything and set it level before I started, because when everything's a bit random, you kind of then go, well, what is and isn't random? You know, like you can't just trust everything. So I've gone over everything. In the front, I'm going to do this in the rear as well, but basically I've done. Oh, steering lock's on.
Sorry.
In here we have. I should take the wheel off. I'm going to take the wheel off.
Okay.
And tell you what I've done. Well, just let's say you buy a European brand of kit that comes like approved to lower up to 30mm.
Yeah.
So the shock length and the bump stop and everything is already set, so that the distance between here and here is basically the same as the distance between the top of the wheel and the top of the arch.
Yeah.
So it will never hit anything. You know, and the bump stop's designed to catch it before it bottoms out and all that kind of stuff. Now, if you make that shock as short as it goes, if you make the shock as short as it goes and you install it and off you go, you'll basically have, let's say, 100mm of shock, and you might have 10mm to the wheel arch.
Right.
So you go over any bump that's big enough,
right,
and the wheel's going to want to go through the body.
Oh, is that what that noise was?
Yeah, probably. But like, you see this, you see it, you know, actually you see it a lot in kind of drift cars and stuff where they throw a lot of components at a car, and if they don't have a team that knows how to set it up, then you end up with a car where on a big enough bump, you'll see smoke pouring off the rear arches or the front arches or whatever. Yeah. Because the suspension will physically travel further than the car will allow it to.
Yeah.
So on the front, in an ideal world, I'd install a kit like this, and you'd install it without the springs, and you'd put the car down with the wheels on, and you'd see where they hit, and you'd take it off, and you'd do this, and you'd do that. And I could lose a day just doing that. This is Barton, guys. He's very meticulous about this sort of stuff, which is why I brought the car here, because it's like, once we'd done the job of putting the suspension on, gone to all that trouble of replacing all of that stuff, then put the wheels on, I wanted to just bring it here and make sure that it actually drove nice. Yep. And now I'm just being cussed out for my job. No, but there's just, no, I know. It gets a bit awkward, that's the problem. It's not quite as simple as people think. I just put it on and bosh and it's done and it's good. Because like, it will be good until you go down that road with that bump and then it goes and tears all your arch liners to bits, or the sump hits the floor, or, you know, like something happens. So ideal world isn't always possible. Yeah. But I know from experience you can take some measurements and kind of get to within 90% like pretty quick. Yeah. So the front, I've basically set the length, and then I've added a plastic packer in. They're called packers, basically. They are these things. So
like a little bump stop.
Yeah, but they're solid. So what they're doing is they're making the shock have less travel, which sounds like counterintuitive. But if the kit doesn't come with everything right to run the ride height you want and
Yeah.
everything that you want and all this, that and the other, then you have to do something, and it's either like change springs or change the bump stop or bang into bits of plastic.
Okay.
And that's pretty standard practice. If you run like a GT3 race car and you go from Silverstone to Spa and through overage, the car bottoms out and hits the floor, you'll put like 5mm packers in to stop it doing it.
Yeah.
It's a standard thing. So we've done a bit of that, and then set the ride heights, corner weighted the car with you in the driver's seat, aligned it, basically ignoring BMW specs completely. Now it's got loads of camber, and so it wants massive wheel spacers.
Okay, so I need to buy some wheel spacers.
Well, my plan I propose is that so the negative was knackered rear ball joints. The rear arm ball joints are knackered, but like, given that it's here and you're booked for the day and all the rest, I wanted to get it to that like 90%.
Yeah, and then come back.
Come back, and at least I know then it basically just requires a quick setup rather than like the whole day fucking around with it.
Yeah.
And we can also get some spacers ordered and make sure they fit. If it needs like a tweak to the alignment to make it fit right, because you know, like the difference between 3.5 and 3.2 degrees of camber is not going to be the end of the world for the way the car drives, what you're doing. But if it rubs or needs a fitment change because we've put spacers on it, we can do that all in one hit.
Yes.
This is broken.
What have I
This will get
broken?
more broken?
What? So have I broken stuff?
Well, you've just broken like the under trays, and where the oil cooler goes is broken and stuff. And it's because to make it look cool and low with teeny tiny tyres, it ends up really low physically.
Well, there you have it. It will look great. There's a few more things to do on it yet, but
It's tweaks.
it's just tweaks.
Like this is actually what I like doing. It's almost what I call this is where it extends from just car setup to sort of consultancy. Like if you do this and this and this and this, it'll look great, perfect.
I kind of knew this was going to happen. Like James and Barn used to drive together years ago and drifting, and James said to me when I was taking the car to Barn, he was like, you do realise he's going to go down a bit of a rabbit hole with this. It's not just a case of getting it corner weighted, get it sorted. It's going to be like, there's going to be a list as long as you're on. But do you know what? As long as the car looks great, it's going to be fine. I'd rather have it set up properly, drive it, enjoy it, and then...
It's done.
Exactly. Right then, guys, I am going to drive this car home now. I'm actually going to go out tomorrow and give it a nice little drive around the roads just to see what the proper suspension setup is like. I'm really excited. I'm really delighted to have brought the car down to string theory, because at the end of the day, when you put in wheels, tyres, suspension, all that sort of stuff on your car, it is best to take it somewhere like this because they can set it up and then it's all driving lovely. And I'm actually really excited to take this car on like a track day or something like that, especially as James has got his E92 M3, and I'm going to see whose car is actually set up better. I say it's probably going to be mine. Right then, guys, thank you so much for joining me on this video. I will see you super duper soon. Let's take this car home. And oh, I've got 30 miles left in the tank. Classic. See you on the next one. Bye.